morning. Welcome to A1 Vacuum and Sewing's live stream for...
I don't have a chair, so I'm going to have to sit on Patrick's.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just kidding. Let me go get a chair. Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
There's a chair right here.
Let me get this.
So I did hear Alex tell somebody at the end of day yesterday. It was relatively busy yesterday. Pretty steady the day before, too, that we were about a week and a half out on sewing machines.
If you want flamingo kiss, get it now. I only have 2 more, but I will cut more, so don't worry about it. There will be enough.
What do we have to talk about today?
I know you handed it to me. Where did I put it?
What, your coffee?
Yeah.
You just walked off with it looking for the chair, I think.
I didn't have it in my hands then. So, I don't think we have a lot to talk about.
I was thinking about how hard we were laughing last night, or more appropriately, how hard you were laughing last night. But then all I was thinking about was just how much we laugh.
When I'm not mad at Patrick. Just kidding.
Which is probably significantly less than you ladies think she's mad, but...
What does that mean?
I think you're mad at me on the live streams a lot.
I called him last night several times to yell at him. He's like, "Are you calling me just to yell at me?" And I said, "Yes." And then I tried to leave last night and I couldn't because I didn't
Guess who was like, right before I left, I was like, "Hey, do you have keys?" And she's like, "Yes, Patrick, I have keys."
He's exaggerating. I was like, "Yeah." I thought about, you're totally exaggerating.
I thought you thought it was silly that I was asking you.
I stopped to think about it, and then I thought, I put him in my bag pocket specifically, and I said yes. I don't know why you know what? He likes to embellish. Anyways, so I did, but what I didn't think is I took the kids, I call it the kids' car now. And it was just the key fob, so I didn't have keys to get out. Patrick locked me in, and I would have needed them to lock the store anyways. So
well, she couldn't even get out though. She
I was
called
just
me
like
and she's like
looking at my car through the glass.
I'm stuck, and I'm like, "What are you stuck on?" She's like, "I can't get out of the store."
Yeah, I was locked in.
So Momo got a car ride.
Yeah. They came down, and I just said, okay, that's more time for me to try. And it's I don't know, I just can't clean this area up.
You just stop buying stuff for like 3 weeks, and then
should we do that?
Happens. It'll be so clean because like there won't be 10 boxes every day.
Yeah. So, to let you know, the me, M-E.
The Kimberbell me.
Christine went on the site. I was going to email her and ask her if she could, like, make it, like, a clear me. And it was already there. It's as though she was reading my mind. Like that.
Well, I think she watches the live stream. Hi, Christine.
So it's up there. So if you would, because thank you so much. So many of you reached out and you've waited to sign up till you could do it through our link, and it all.
Should we make an A1 line of clothing?
I know
the guys want an A1 hat. Like they've always wanted an A1 hat. I don't know why we've never made one.
We should do big truck, limited edition, big truck A1 hats. Don't you think?
I don't know.
I think didn't GNR do it?
Not big truck. They just did like.
I don't know. It's not like I don't have a machine that could do it.
That's what I'm saying.
So that is up.
See, and
I would do the shirt.
Yeah, so we should do the t-shirts. We will make a limited edition T-shirt, whether or not they're done by the quilt show or not. It's a question.
Just haven't had time. Maybe this afternoon I can go.
You know what else I need to do is I need to go get my business cards, which have been done for
ladies,
a long time.
Yesterday's class was my class had 12 people in it, and there were only 2 that showed up.
Wait, what?
Yes.
I mean,
there were common anymore.
There was a handful of ladies. I think because you can just watch it later, and there was a handful of ladies that told me that they wouldn't be in the class. But can I tell you
we got a lot of people that sign up for classes, and then they're like, "But I'm just gonna watch later because I'm not available during that time." It feels like people are busier now than they were before.
Gail said she would do an A1 hoodie. Do you know someone that could do the embroidery? Yeah.
What? Oh. These aren't embroidered though. They're silkscreen.
So I wanted to show you this because we had such a great class yesterday, me and Joanne and Marlene. Well, maybe it was just me having a great class. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to do it anyways. But so what we did was we took this, this was a hand embroidery pattern, and I've always stitched it out just in black. Well, with this one, we went through and we separated out each color. So we added that blanket stitch. I know I just started coloring it in, so I haven't finished coloring it in yet. That's why the teacup is only partially blue. But and that probably took us like an hour and a half to do that. But think about the time it would take you to hand stitch, and so we did that, and then we stitched it out.
Oh, you did it with pretty colors too.
I did it with pretty colors.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. It was fun for me. Was it fun, Joanne? I asked Joanne, "Are you having fun?" She was like, "No." And then she said she was instant gratification. So then there were some parts, like when we did the yellow flowers, where we were just touch, because we'd already separated the line so it wouldn't go everywhere.
I was listening to you, like when you were like preparing, and you were like, dink, dink, dink.
I know.
Dink, dink.
I love
dink,
it. But I love
dink,
that. I love that
dink.
kind of stuff. So, and then the other thing we did is after we stitched it out, we took it back into, from embroidery into IQ. We added the stippling. And then we worked with some embroidery design quilting patterns. So if you look at like right here, the little stars. So we added those. Where's our best light? Like that. Is that the best light? So we added those, and then we added quilting on the cornerstones too. So, and what I realized is I really need to divide you ladies out just because the screens are different between a class for the Solaris and Luminaire girls, which that's what's going to be on the 24th. I'll go ahead and change it online. And then between the Luminaire and Solaris girls, and then the other ladies that have the Destiny, Dream Machine, Stellar, Altair, Meridian,
why are you
XJ1,
doing,
XE1.
And this is really just for me, but why are you separating Stellar from Destiny and Dream Machine?
I'm not. I just said we're going to have Luminaire and Solaris together, and then the other class is going to be Destiny, Dream Machine, Stellar, Altair, XE1, XJ1, Meridian.
But why is it that separation and not built-in cameras versus non-built-in cameras?
Because their IQ screen is different.
Okay.
So for us to navigate on our...
So the buttons are the same in the Stellar. Okay.
Yeah, how we navigate in that machine. So, and that might be a little bit different too, but I just, I can't do like 8 classes.
Right.
So I'm grouping with most like... Sage always says, like things together. Like things together. I say that all the time when I'm like trying to clean up now.
And then like, if Sage is watching,
choose your
like,
words wisely.
No, like she always does such an amazing job, but then I'm like things. Where did my sunglasses go? Where did she put my sunglasses? I still haven't found those Kai sunglasses.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She didn't touch them.
Well, no, they were all on the counter. She knows where they are.
Yeah, if you haven't signed up for this class, you should sign up for this class. The next So, I cut all my pieces because when I pieced it together, I was filming it. And then I didn't read the part that said pressure seams open. So I did all of them. And then I went to sew on the next step. And I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Because Michelle had cut them for me in the class. So then I go, you know what? I'm going to use my skinny cut. I am a skinny cut girl. So I got, and the class was recorded. So I got onto the Facebook group and I watched Michelle's video and I was like, that's how I do a draw line. That's how I do a cut line. And I just do. And then I actually had to do it a couple of times because I had to group and duplicate. And so finally when I got it the way I wanted it, I loaded my mat, cut all my pieces, had the draw line, and then I did it. So anyways, that first class is on the 17th. It's June 17th. And what you're going to do is be cutting all the pieces. You're going to be cutting your 1.5 inch squares, your like the corner squares, the strips. You're going to do all of that. And then I am doing the one of the classes on the 20th, and the other class is going to be on the 24th. So I'm bookending that week. And
You're in like a songful mood today.
I love singing. I love it. I think it's my calling. The only issue is I'm not very good at it. But when you take a class with me, I sing.
The whole family will start laughing when she starts.
Good thing I have thick skin because my family doesn't laugh with me. They laugh at me.
Well, but you know what you're doing is silly, and you're fishing for laughs.
No, that's not. Sometimes it's unintended humor, unintentional. It's most of the time unintentional humor. So I'm pitching it again because it was so much fun. And in the next class, we're gonna see the top part. I was like, oh, maybe we'll just leave the top part gray, but we're gonna do the whole thing with colors. And you're gonna love it, Joanne Bell, aren't you? You're gonna have so much fun next time, right? Okay.
And you're gonna like it.
Whether you want to. Or, ladies, when you take that class, you're gonna love it. Do you understand? That's part of taking. Yeah, it's not optional. You show up to class with your fun cap on. That's how it works.
What is it? The beatings will continue until morale improves.
Yes.
What's that from?
It's just a saying. You know, I couldn't stop thinking about this morning the scene in History of the World Part 2 where they shoot the cow. He's like, fetch a lavash. And they shoot
Fetch
the cow
a
with the get the cow. The
That's how you say
English
it?
are attacking the French, and the French are like, he's the guy that's like, I taunt you.
And they use a catapult.
They use a catapult and they shoot a cow. But like, I remember like when I studied European history, they were like, yeah, they used to catapult diseased cows. Like, so they would catapult like a diseased cow
like
carcass.
thousands of pounds. How would
Well,
they?
so they'd like catapult a diseased
Would they
cow.
chop it up?
No, they'd
No,
like
the whole
shoot
cow.
a dead cow carcass.
How would they
Like
get?
over castle walls, because then like the animals inside the castle would get like disease, or like they'd spread dysentery. It was like old school biological warfare. And I was like, oh my God, it's totally
It's real.
historically accurate.
I
Fetch
just
a
did.
lavash. The guy's like, fetch a lavash. That means go get the cow.
Did your dad probably love those movies?
I love those movies.
You were
I
like
was
2.
I watched them later in life.
I was thinking. I remember watching The Meaning of Life, and think I watched
The Meaning
it.
in Life was like you have to be older to watch that one. I watched that one as a teenager and I didn't understand it that well.
I wonder if I watched it now.
But like the
I
Holy
would-
Grail and History of the World,
Those are
like,
just
were
silly.
just like so funny.
So where's my computer?
I love her singing, Marlene, because it's the source of such great amounts of entertainment.
Well, because I never know the words.
That's the problem. Not that you can't sing, it's the words that are questionable.
No, she's not a great singer either.
I'm not. Ow! You ladies should see this bruise. So on that
Yeah, it had
right
nothing
over
to do
there,
with me.
Patrick did not. Amber heard me.
Oh my God, you gotta stop saying that.
I know. Sorry. On that scan and cut rack, I like ran directly into a hook. It was as though I was running like this at full speed.
Do you have any idea how many times I've been happy to be wearing glasses in this store? Because I'll go to grab something and like one of those things will be like right in the glasses.
It's never happened to me ever.
That's because you're always jumping for it.
My God. Okay, so just a recap. There's a Surge or 2 class this afternoon from noon to 2. The beautiful tea towel class is tomorrow from 10:30 to noon. If you haven't gotten a Zoom invitation yet and you want one, just join in. Just let me know. And then there is a XE1 embroidery class,
Alex has keys too,
which is the Stellar,
Here.
the Altair, the Meridian, the XE1, the XJ1. That's all going to be tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 3. So if you haven't taken that class yet, reach out to us. And then on Saturday morning, don't forget we have Frosty Goes to Town. And then next week. So don't forget as well that on the 7th is, hey, Michelle, when you come up, can you go grab that quilt sample,
I don't
the
know.
quilt
They're
software?
like all the
It's
quilt
on
samples
it's on the
are
class
like
wall.
that.
It's like this big. It's the one Michelle made with the software. So she's doing a demo on the advanced quilt software where you can design your own quilts, and it has nothing to do with embroidery. It has nothing to do with anything except you wanting to make a quilt and design it on software. And then you can cut it out with scan and cut. So this is an example of something that Michelle made and designed in software. And I think she even loaded the pics from online from the fabric, and then you can play with those in the software to arrange them as well, which I think is really cool. I think it's really cool, and I think it's very user friendly. And so
it's not super expensive relative to the other quilt software packages that are out
yeah,
there.
especially with the deals we're doing at A1 Vacuum and Sewing. So that's going to be next Tuesday, and then my computer just died. So then we have Quilt Show for the weekend.
Yeah, so just keep in mind for next week, I don't know if we're really going to do a live stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
We might be off.
Just because
maybe we'll live stream from the show.
We'll see. It generally, it's kind of crazy in
We're
the mornings.
Usually really busy.
And so it might be something where we do something really, really brief, but I wouldn't count on the live stream. I wouldn't count on the giveaway. Wednesday, we have a lot of kind of setup to get ready for. And then Thursday, Friday, obviously we'll be at the Quilt Show. We generally get over there at 6:30, 7 o'clock right after they open the doors.
We do?
To kind of clean up.
We got to go that early? It doesn't start until 10.
We normally go.
Or does it start at 9?
I don't know. We'd have to look, but
I don't think we go that early.
Lisa, I'm not really sure. The first day, Saturday is definitely the slowest day.
Yeah,
it's Saturday,
usually
it's normally really, really busy. Thursday, really busy the first half of Friday. And then Saturday is normally the slowest day, and it gets really slow by the end of the day. We start kind of wrapping up and trying to box stuff up and stuff like that. We will do incentives for our demo machines. The last couple of shows, we've sent almost all of our demo machines home with folks. I do have.
Are we going to do some in-store specials while we're gone, or no? We're not going to do that
too
to
much
the boys.
for the guys, because the guys end up delivering machines here too.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for the greatest number of people, Thursday is the best day. If you're looking for the least number of people, kind of the most calm stuff, I'd say Saturday for sure. It is busy for us at the Quilt Show, but make sure that you swing by and let folks know that they need to swing by.
Yeah, we do a giveaway at the Quilt Show. Are we doing a giveaway this year?
I haven't even really thought about it.
should.
We always do a vacuum and a
sewing machine.
A vacuum and a sewing machine.
Yeah, we usually give away a vacuum, and are we doing that?
Yeah, let's do
We're
it.
gonna be giving away. We'll give away like an amazing vacuum, and we'll give away a sewing machine. I think the last couple of years we've given away a Baby Lock Brilliant.
Yeah.
So you have to come to the booth and spell your name with your butt. I'm just kidding. That's what we used to do. That's a Korean thing. Is that a Korean thing? We would play this game. We would laugh so hard when we were kids.
Where you had to spell your name with your butt?
Yeah, that was like, Koreans play the weirdest game. Number one, they play a lot of games where they hit each other.
All right, so there was like it, and it's funny. So the last day I was in Yosemite,
Does this have anything to do with Koreans?
this has everything to do with Koreans. They were everywhere.
How do you know they were Korean?
Well, because I know, like, I can understand when they speak, and so so I am not kidding when I say, like, we were staying in the tent cabins, and the tent cabins are packed in there. So the entire corridor in front of us, so like there are like probably 10 or 12 tent cabins there. They all seem to know each other. So I said something to Vadim, that the guy I was climbing with, that I was like, I wonder if it's a tour or something, like if they're from Korea. And he's like, no, I think they're all families that know each other. They're probably from the North Bay. Everywhere we went, there were Korean people. And which is, it's funny because I'm like, Koreans are pretty well represented in Reno. Like they're a larger Asian group in Reno, but like it was all Koreans. It was just really bizarre. And even Vadim, like the last day of the trip, was like, dude, you're not kidding. They're everywhere. So there was a boy, like who was probably like 8 or 10 years old, and he had 2 little sisters. And so after we'd climb, we'd get back and we'd set up our camp chairs and like have some hors d'oeuvres, like some sausage and pepperoni and cheese and beers. And every day we watched this kid, and he was speaking in Korean, so I didn't understand all of it. But what I did understand was all he was trying to do was get the girls to play mukjiba, and they didn't want to play mukjiba because they didn't want to get hit.
Yeah.
And so I was explaining to Vadim, like, cause he's like, no, we gotta play mukjiba, and like they're like, no, like they wanted to play something else, and so I was explaining to Vadim that like mukjiba, you get hit.
Yeah, so in Korea you do mukjiba, which is like rock paper scissors. So you go mukjiba, and then you have to shoot. Come on, I'll play you right now.
Mukjiba.
Oh,
mukjiba.
Oh, so then he's got 2 things he can do for me. Number 1, he can hit me on the wrist like this, 2 fingers. They spit on it and they hit you as hard as they can, or. And you hit the back of their hand, and the kids will just play and play and play until their arm is like so red,
hard,
or they noogie each other like right here between the eyes.
So my kids played it like the whole time we were in Korea too. Like so anyways, these kids were arguing the whole time, and then the last day, when we got down, there was this huge family of Koreans at like right up against the Merced River, which I was like, oh my God, I got to bring the family here for a picnic, because it was just this amazing picnic spot. And they were doing the hugest
Korean spread.
Korean barbecue spread. So they had like several barbecues going, and they were doing all the meat, and like it was just so
It's
funny.
so good.
So I would like walk back to the river and like put my feet in the river for a second.
Were you so jealous?
And then as I was walking back, I was like, wow, that smells really good. And the woman was like, oh, you wouldn't like it. And I'm like, Mashisa.
Thanks.
It means it's so good.
That means tastes good in Korean.
And they're all like, oh.
You said mashisa. Oh, that's funny.
So it was just funny.
Well, on our tamer like games that we would play, because I grew up with, I had cousins and they were all the same age. You know how much fun that is when you grow up with cousins and you're like, Patrick was young, but they're all the same age, and I can't remember why, but we would play some game, and then if you lost, you had to get up and like write your name out with your butt, and we would laugh so hard because it just looked so funny. I don't know. Maybe it
You should
wouldn't
tell
be.
them about Dongshin.
We'll save that. We'll save that for another time. Anyways,
The Koreans play weird games.
that's not even a game. Okay, well, maybe
They're
it's a
like
game.
statues to it.
Yeah.
In Korea.
Anyways, Michelle, did you want to show me your project? Are we gonna?
Yeah.
Okay, so Michelle
All right,
has
I
one
gotta-
project
I'm gonna
ready
go.
to go. We
Bye.
sent all the information to Christine, and we sent the information to Christine. It's going to be one class, just because it's a long one, and I know you've been asking for some more bag classes and something maybe that you might learn a little more. So,
Good morning.
good morning, Michelle is back.
I'm back.
So, first of all, how was the retreat?
Oh
'Cause
my
the
God,
ladies
it was
wanna know.
so fun. I ate way too much sugar. I stayed up way too late. And I essentially did all the bad things that John won't let me do when I'm at home.
Patrick wouldn't either.
Yeah.
He'd be like, it's time for
To
bed.
bed.
Does John tell you it's time for bed too?
Yeah, he does. He comes into the sewing room, goes, "You're not going to like it when your alarm goes off for work tomorrow morning if you don't go to bed." And I'm like, but I want to stay up late.
I know. I'm happy Patrick gets me to go to bed because
Good morning.
Momo doesn't care. So I got to get up, and the kids don't either.
So yeah, some of you that have been following along know that it's hard to be the only bag maker with 15 quilty ladies.
Yeah,
you know,
they
it
were.
really-
They're all.
they're all
hardcore.
over me. Yeah.
But
So-
didn't you quilt?
I did. I made. I have half of it. I'll show it tomorrow. And I had a good time. But you can. I had to laugh because when I started putting it together, it's perfectly imperfect. When I started to put it together, I'm like, oh, I can see where I could have taken a little bit more time cutting this one, and I'm like, it's gonna cut. The shredding part is like, yeah, not so much, but the sewing part was fun. But I also taught a bag class.
To the ladies.
Yes, I had 4 students that were willing to take the plunge.
Yeah.
And
That's
two-
exciting.
It was. 2 of them had never, ever done a bag in their life, and they did cork and seat belting together, and they had hardware. I found the Sally Tomato makes grommets that just snap together, so they didn't
Yes.
require tools, anything like that. So I had, I would say all 4 of them were relatively successful.
Yeah.
So it was fun. And then, of course, I did a little pinwheel quilt.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a lap quilt kind of size. I had some fabric I had been keeping in my stash for a while, seasoning, and I think it's going to be fun. So I actually picked out a couple of other patterns, but the ones I picked out, the quilt patterns and I'll show them tomorrow. Want to show them to you first. I look at them as the scan and cut can do the shreddy kind of work.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do the shreddy kind of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
no,
I had
it's
a great
awesome.
time. The weather was amazing because I love Oregon coastal weather. So I had most of the days were just temperate. But I love watching the ocean change colors between when it's blue because the sky's got sun and when it starts to turn gray and angry because the wind is blowing and the rain's coming in. So it was really, really pretty.
I should move, Patrick. Maybe we should move to the Oregon coast. I
love it.
I love kind of
I do love it. And
because I love not leaving the house. So then it doesn't matter.
yeah,
I
it
just look at
doesn't.
the window at the bad weather.
We didn't have to because, like, the house faces the ocean. We could all sit out on the deck. We don't
Yeah.
have to go anywhere.
Use Montana as an example, but no coast.
But
Too much rain.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't. I guess
yeah.
the rain, because
You have
I
to get
do
used
go
to it.
outside every day because almost my baby.
Yeah, now if you were there, you both of you would come in wet and muddy almost every day.
Yeah, that's no
So,
fun.
Yeah,
It's no fun dealing with rain and mud when you have a dog.
yeah. So
When I lived in Portland, I was like,
Patrick's talking.
yeah, I love Portland. It's one of my favorite
first
cities.
week I was in Portland, it rained. Like, it was like beautiful, and then it rained one day.
Uh-huh.
And I saw these like guys walking down the street, just wearing a suit in the rain, no
Yeah.
umbrella, no nothing.
No.
And I was like, look,
'Cause if
that-
you
that
carry
guy's
an
kinda
umbrella
like
in
that's,
Portland-
like so silly, or they're just getting soaked. And
There
then
you-
like
no.
3 months later, it'd be raining, and I'd be walking down the street without
Yeah, I learned
any
that
umbrella.
from
I can't
They don't
do
from
care.
that.
Jen. I learned that from Jen. If you carry an umbrella, it's like having tourist tattooed on your forehead.
I think I would.
No, they rarely do they have an umbrella. They
Yeah.
might put a newspaper over their head if it's really coming down, but yeah, no one carries an umbrella.
So,
Oh, my project. So, Miss Betty Stogner, I hope you're paying attention.
she's right. Yep.
Oh. So
She is.
the first, I got the Take a Stand bag by Annie's. And I loved a lot of the things about this bag, about how it went together. And of course, I always have to change a couple of things. But so this is going to be our first foray. This is the Take a Stand bag. And I love this fabric.
Here's some more She Who Sews.
It's the She Who Sews. And then the inside is the spools or the pin cushions. There's 50-50 on the kids. But this offered a lot of potential for techniques that are used in other by Annie's projects. So here's how this one's going to go. You will have pre-class homework that must be done before class.
Oh, this is really cute. So the black is on the bottom, so your directional stuff.
Yes. So
Okay.
we're going to be working with all of these fabrics are directional. So I'm going to give you some hints on that. Also, the bag is quilted. So quilting is not part of the class. It's part of the pre-class. I'll show you what I did. I actually put it in a hoop and used one of the OESD patterns. But there's lots of ways you can do it. If you don't have an embroidery machine, you can just do traditional channel quilting, or you can free motion it. It has a zipper. It has binding. It has pockets. It has hardware.
Cute.
And it just, there's just a lot of technique in this that I've noticed are used in a lot of the other by Annie's. So I am working this morning on kits for this print. And the kits will have a piece of mesh the size for the interior pockets. It will have the fold over elastic that's around the pockets.
So it's going to have this mesh here and the fold over elastic that goes on the very top.
It will have a zipper kit. It will have the hardware kit. It will have there's poly pro webbing inside the strap here. It will have that.
That's in there.
Yes.
Oh, and Michelle's going to have
I have a
the
different
way she shows you how to. I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing.
It's so much easier, my strap method. And it also will have, what else is in the kit? Oh, 3 yards of fabric. So I used 4 different prints on this. So it's going to be enough to do it the way it's printed here. And
Oh, yeah, the
what
sides.
else? Yeah.
So the class, we just sent the information to
Yes.
Christine, so it might not be up yet.
And then
but
the
it's
kits definitely aren't up today. So they'll be up probably by the end of the day, but I have to confer with Miss Jeannie before I can put the kits up. I'm finishing them up.
So when's the class on the calendar?
So the class, the class is on the calendar. So the class on August the 4th, which is a Thursday, there will be a 11 to 12 Zoom session on what you need to prep. I will have the already prepped pieces, and then I will upload the videos on how I prep those pieces to the Facebook group for this class. And then on the following Thursday, because there's some prep work, ladies, so I wanted to give you enough time to do it. So the class will be the following Thursday from 10 to 4 with a break for lunch in there. And all of the prep work will be done. But one of the things that
So the actual class, so you have an hour class
an
hour prep class?
And in that prep class, you're not actually going to be sewing anything. I'm going to show you what pieces you need to prep, and the videos of how to prep those pieces will be in the Facebook group.
Okay.
So you don't need your sewing machine or anything for that prep class. But one of the things that that I like to do in this kind of a pattern is show you how you can skip through your pattern to do the prep work and not necessarily sew the steps in order, because by doing the prep work, the sewing through it is much quicker.
So this is going to be the pattern that you're working with, which is take a stand. And then maybe if we
This
have
one's
time
next.
later on, this is the accompaniment to it. And it is this thing, the tool case folds,
Running with scissors.
It folds over.
The top of the take
Yeah.
a stand bag.
So it just kind of lays on top like that,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is, because you can carry your most favorite stuff with you.
Yeah.
I came home with favorite stuffs.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Lots of favorite stuff.
So look for that. That'll be up. We're cutting 10 kits, and
Yes.
and then there'll be 10 spots in that class.
Yes, the class
mean,
is limited to 10 spots.
Yeah, and if there's more people, we could add another session. But
yeah.
most likely it's going to be this one. So get signed up as soon as you can.
Yeah, the class will be. I sent the class information to Christine, but the link to purchase the pattern and the link to purchase the kit is not in there yet. But you can sign up and purchase the class.
Yeah. And so I think that's it for now. So it is. We've got. Is today Thursday?
It is.
Oh my God, where does
So
the time
tomorrow
go?
I'll share some of the, if we have time.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll share some of the stuff I came back with, because I
Yes.
came back with some really fun
We've
stuff.
been waiting. So yeah, join us tomorrow. We'll have our question of the day, and Michelle will have some show and tell.
Heather, I just sent it to Christine. Like, I just pushed email before I stood in front of the computer. So
Yeah, so it'll be up there.
yeah, it'll be there.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right. Yes, everything is virtual.
Yes, it'll be a Zoom class.
It'll say online class or Zoom
You know,
class.
ladies, and if we have so many of you that we have to add another session, we'll add another session. So don't
Yeah.
freak out.
I just like to keep the session small because, and also if you know for a fact, please help us out here. If you know for a fact that you aren't going to be joining any of the classes live, that you're going to be watching it later, please let us know, because there might be someone else that wants to get in. And since you're not actually going to physically be in that Zoom class, we might
can
be
add
able, yeah,
somebody.
we can add somebody. So let us help somebody not be disappointed.
All right.